What if Europe no longer trusted the United States to defend it? For decades, Europe has relied on America's nuclear umbrella, the promise that the US would use its nuclear weapons to protect NATO allies. But now, behind closed doors, and increasingly in public speeches, European leaders are asking the once unthinkable question: should Europe develop its own nuclear deterrent? Let's break down what's actually happening and whether Europe is really on the path to going nuclear. This conversation didn't come out of nowhere. European leaders are increasingly talking about nuclear deterrence because of Russia's war in Ukraine and questions about whether the United States will always defend Europe as it has in the past. Traditionally, European security has relied on the US extended nuclear deterrent, meaning the US would respond with its nuclear arsenal if a NATO ally was attacked. Some policymakers now worry that assumption might no longer hold. The fear being that what would happen if US political leadership shifts, if American priorities move towards Asia, or if Washington hesitates in a future crisis. Would Europe be exposed? That fear has reopened strategic conversations that have been dormant since the Cold War. Here's the key reality. Only 2 European countries actually possess nuclear weapons: France, United Kingdom. That's it. Countries like Germany, Poland, Sweden, they don't have nuclear weapons, and because most European nations are members of the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty, or NPT, building new nuclear arsenals would mean breaking major international commitments. So this isn't a small decision. It would fundamentally reshape global security. Now here's where it gets interesting. European leaders aren't openly saying let's all build bombs. Instead, they're exploring something more nuanced. German Chancellor Friedrich Merz has discussed the idea of a shared European nuclear umbrella. That could mean France extending its nuclear protection more formally across Europe, greater coordination with the United Kingdom, or joint planning structures inside NATO. It could also mean a long-term European deterrent framework independent of US control. French President Emmanuel Macron has also signalled openness to deepen European defence autonomy, including nuclear strategy discussions. Poland has publicly floated stronger nuclear security options, but there's one crucial distinction. These are strategic discussions, not active weapons programs. There is currently no confirmed European country starting a new nuclear weapons project. Let's say a country like Germany decided tomorrow to build its own nuclear arsenal. It would face massive political backlash, withdrawal from international treaties, huge financial costs, years, possibly decades of development, and likely retaliation or destabilization from Russia. This isn't just about building a bomb. It's about delivery systems, submarines, air defences, command structures, the entire nuclear ecosystem. It would fundamentally alter Europe's identity as a largely non-nuclear political bloc. Short answer: not right now. What's happening is a strategic rethink, not an arms race, at least not yet. Europe is exploring options in case the American nuclear umbrella becomes less reliable. The most realistic path forward would likely be a stronger French-European nuclear partnership, deeper integration with the UK, or new NATO arrangements. But a wave of new independent European nuclear states, that would be a dramatic and highly destabilising shift, and we're not there yet. The real story here isn't about bombs, it's about trust. Trust in alliances, trust in deterrence, trust in whether the world order that's existed since World War II is still stable. Europe isn't building new nuclear weapons, but the fact that leaders are even discussing it tells you something profound. The global security landscape is shifting. And when nuclear deterrence conversations resurface in Europe, it means the world is entering a more uncertain era. If you find this video useful, hit like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.